So there are a few things worse than riding with cold and wet hands and feet. It's really uncomfortable and you end up not riding as long because you're just miserable. In this video, I'm going to take a look at two products from Showers Past that promise to solve that problem. They're waterproof knit gloves and socks. Find out what I think in the video. Welcome back, Pathless Peddlers, and if you're new to the channel, if you're looking for information and inspiration about bike travel, bike touring, bike packing, and bike fishing, then definitely subscribe. This channel is for you. I recently got a package from Showers Past with a couple of their new winter products, and two products really bubbled up to the surface, and that is their waterproof gloves and socks. So I'm going to just jump right in and give you guys my first impressions of the gloves and socks so far, as well as some of the things I like and some things I dislike about them. So I'm going to start off by talking about the socks. First off, they look and feel like regular socks. They no longer have that feeling of a neoprene booty with some kind of weird fabric on top of them. They actually look and feel like regular socks. So these socks are actually the second iteration of their waterproof socks. And even over that version, this is a big improvement. They're softer, they just feel more like socks, they're less plasticky. We didn't really think they could improve on the first version, but they did. Another thing you'll notice is they actually have some give and stretch to them like real socks. So you're not locked into like this kind of weird plastic bag feeling thing. They're also a lot more fluid and easier to get on and off. They feel less like you're putting on a big neoprene booty and more like, just like I said, a regular sock. I will say that the fit of the sock is a touch on the snug side. I'm solidly a size 9 foot, and the medium/large version of the sock was just about spot on, if not slightly on the snug side. So definitely keep that in mind if you want to layer with a undersock or have particularly wide feet. I'd consider sizing up. So if you've never put on a waterproof sock before, the experience is, I have to say, kind of strange at first, especially if you're standing in cold running water. It feels like you're getting wet feet, but what you're actually feeling is just the coldness, and when you take your foot out, it's completely dry, and it's the most bizarre thing ever. So I've used these socks on a couple bike rides, couple trail runs and hikes, and I'm digging them so far. I don't find them overly sweat inducing as you would expect from something that is waterproof. I do feel that they are fairly breathable in that respect. For biking, I feel like the sweet spot in terms of temperature is around the 40s and 50s. Any warmer you might sweat more, and any colder it might not provide enough warmth. That's primarily for biking. On hikes and trail runs, I found that you could actually push it down a little bit lower into the upper 30s and still be good to go. So now let's move on to the gloves. And just like the socks, these gloves have an amazing knit feel, and they really don't feel like any different from your regular knit gloves. There might be a sense of a little bit more structure, and that's from the waterproof membrane, but otherwise to the touch it feels just like a regular knit glove. And like the socks, I found that the sweet spot in terms of bicycling is about 50s in rain, 40s in rain. Below that you're kind of pushing it just because there isn't that much insulation. But again, for an activity like trail running or hiking where you're not creating a lot of your own wind chill, then you can definitely take it down lower. One thing I really like about the gloves is, despite the fact that it has a waterproof membrane in there, you have good dexterity. So on the bike, no problem shifting, and I've actually used the gloves while fishing. So while fishing, I found that the gloves maintain their dexterity. I was able to fish successfully, manage line, do roll casts and double hauls without the gloves feeling like they were interfering. I found when I was fishing with larger flies, like streamers, and tying, kind of easier, simpler knots, the gloves weren't a problem. But when dealing with smaller dry flies, I did have to take the gloves off to tie the knots. There would be a couple more features I'd like to see for this to be a fishing specific glove, and that's primarily kind of a longer gauntlet style glove. And this is because if you're gonna land fish or you drop something in the water like you do when you're fishing, it'd be nice to be able to reach down a little bit deeper without going over the cuff of the glove and getting your hands wet. But again, that's on my wish list for a fly fishing specific glove. And I think the same could be said in terms of a fishing specific knit waterproof sock. I'd want it a little bit higher, maybe slightly below the knee, so that I can wade out just a little bit deeper without getting my feet wet. So that's it for the general features overview and my general kind of likes about both the socks and the gloves. There are a couple minor dislikes, and specifically with the glove, whatever rubber grippy material that they use does not play well with smartphones, so you do have to take the glove off to navigate your iPhone or your Android phone or whatever. And one last point about the gloves, if you are going to use it for an activity like fishing, the knit material does tend to be a little bit snaggy, but that would be the case with any knit glove. So definitely be aware of that if you're going to use it for multiple sports. Other than that, that's really it for the dislikes. The socks I'm absolutely loving and having no problems with. It's really going to be a matter of how long it keeps its waterproofness. And it's really kind of hard to determine in just a couple of weeks of use. So if you're looking for a waterproof glove and sock that doesn't feel like a plastic bag, then definitely check out these offerings from Showers Pass. I think the thing I love about them most, other than their waterproofness, is that they're great for multi-sport activities, for biking, for fishing, for trail running, for hiking, because they don't look sport specific. So I think it's definitely a great piece of gear to have in your arsenal, especially if you like to just generally play outdoors and want to keep your feet and your hands dry and warm. So I may update this video in a couple weeks after I get a better sense of durability, but so far I'm loving them. I think you guys should get them. If you guys have any specific questions, leave those in the comments section below. And if you like the video, you know what to do. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching.